This August, my team, we got to go to New Mexico and we went to a school there for a mission trip called Rehoboth, and we did some work for the school, the teachers and the staff, and worked with we worked with the women's soccer team specifically there.
It kind of was such a weird thing to come out here for less than 24 hours, not even really move stuff in, and then hop on a plane at 5 o'clock in the morning. But it was so fun, and it was so great, especially with our freshmen, just to get them incorporated with the team so quickly.
I just remember initially being like, wow, these girls are awesome. I was so excited just to get to know them and just like really go deep into our faith, and like I was really shocked by how much they really wanted to get to know me personally. I'd never been on a team where it was like, hey, I want to be praying for you. Hey, I want to be pushing you in any way that I can.
Well, it was a unique trip because, at least for me, I have mostly traveled with my family, which I know is true for most of the team. So going with a bunch of girls your age and then Coach and his wife was like really cool, but just odd because we were kind of figuring it out for ourselves and a little bit more independent.
The first day I was in a group where we were picking some weeds around their soccer field, so just a lot of cleanup stuff. But on that day specifically, Kate Kortenhoven and I got to step aside and work with these little kids that just were out on the soccer field. And we ran some little trainings for them, and it was so fun. And so it was just things like that where we were put to jobs, but then there were times where we just so saw the Lord working, and conversations that we got to have with workers there, or just little extra fun things that we got to do.
Some of the fun stuff we got to do in New Mexico included hikes, but also we went to a rodeo while we were there, which was super fun. There was a bunch of vendors, and we got to see the life of a rodeo in New Mexico, which none of us have ever experienced. And we also went to a flea market down there too. And that was huge, and there is so many beautiful pieces of art there and unique food, and it was just a really cool experience.
We did a hike called the crevice hike, and you actually had to use your body, like you had to pin your body in between two different walls that were like in a canyon and kind of shimmy your way through. And none of us were really expecting that it was going to be as hard as it was, or as maybe scary as it was.
I think we all agreed that if we would have known that's what we were going to do, we probably wouldn't have done it. But after we all got through it, I think we absolutely would have regretted not going, because I think it might have been the coolest thing we got to do.
I faced my fear of heights. A lot of the team could vouch for me. I was very fearful, but they all encouraged me to push through that. I can remember vividly, I had one girl in front of me and one girl behind me, and it would switch off every once in a while. One was holding my hand, one was keeping my back, and it was really awesome just to see them really want to push me. And I really grew stronger with those girls because they didn't want me to give up, despite the fact that every time I wanted to be like, I'm gonna turn around, I wanna turn around. They'd be like, no, just keep going, you're halfway there, it's almost worse to go back. So that was really cool. I really appreciated all their help.
The biggest thing that I took away from the trip was just like learning about the freshmen and their personalities, because I know that getting to know them would be a lot harder going into the school year with them being busy and me being busy. But when classes weren't in the way and we were just there living with one another, we just got to know each other super well, and now I have that foundation of friendship with each of them uniquely.
We had this common area. At the end of every day, we'd come together and do a devotional together, led by one of the seniors, or Riley or myself. And I think that was a really important time, just to recenter on like, where did we see God that day? But then also, how are we gonna take what we learned from God on this trip into the rest of our season and how we operate as a team? So I think that was just a really cool thing that we all got to do together.
As a team, we are just all the more unified. We're all on the same page, and I think we just have a really genuine love for each other because we spent this week in New Mexico learning about each other and growing together and serving together, and ultimately that servant leadership taught us about each other and just helped us grow in our understanding of our teammates and grow in our love for them as well.